MightyMai episode 12. Let's go.
Getting that money. Y'all don't know what's happening right now, baby. It's about to blow up. So you better hop on this blockchain, baby. I'm gang on the blockchain. Gang on the blockchain. Gang on the blockchain. I'm gang on the blockchain. I'm making money on the blockchain. Once you win, you ain't never same. Decentralized, yeah, you know the game. Peer-to-peer crypto money game. On the blockchain, I'm getting bullish with my coins game. I'm getting bullish, baby, know my name. She see me flossing, I don't own a thing, but my wallet be the money train. Yeah. Gas fees for them NFTs. My Rarible selling for a G. ER on the open sea. So high, yo, I can't believe. Everybody getting dough on this crypto. 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 ER. I'm gang on the blockchain. Gang on the blockchain. Gang on the blockchain. I'm gang on the blockchain.
Okay. So MightyMai episode 12. Let's go. Shout out to ER for dropping this gem these days, that I love and that I wanted to use, to start the show for this week. Great vibe, gang on the blockchain. So yeah, incredible week with tons of interesting topics to get into. I can wait to. There's so much. So yeah, I wanted to ask you how you went this week and how do you feel tonight?
Man, it's as always, we feel like years go by every week in this world. But yesterday with the first drop with Connie, that was like a life-changing little experience for me. We can maybe dabble into that conversation a little bit, but dude, yeah, I mean, just moving forward with everything that we got going, and yeah, it's just dope to see. I see some of these topic lists, the Audius clone, like I don't know what that's about, but that sounds fucking crazy.
Yeah, very disrupting week, and I think like the recent craze has, like we talked in previous weeks, pushed the metaverse, the blockchain community to work harder to move on these innovations, and that's what we witnessed this week. Like beyond every celebrity doing an NFT, you see platforms raising new features and capabilities that really makes more tangible the feel of the space moving forward on the tech side. So that's what it's about this week.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so just before we dive in, I just wanted to shout out DAORecords and the Clean Water for Texas initiative, where they brought together a collective of artists to create pieces and raise funds for this initiative that is Clean Water for Texas. And shout out to Rare Scrilla that support as well this initiative and just bought this NFT. I just wanted to play it real quick before we start and give a little promotion for this. This is the kind of initiative we want to see more and more in the blockchain. So I just wanted to highlight this and shout out to this whole collective of artists moving toward that direction. So
to get the story of this market, to be able to tell you the secret, we did a lot of digging. We talked to leading businessmen, the customers, and the salesmen. And out of this all, there emerged a story.
Look, it's your boy Mad Lib, and I support clean water for Texas. We all need that clean water, that clean agua. You know what I mean? We all deserve that.
What's going on? This is Jay Perry, the Mixtape Assassin. I'm here just to show my support for clean water for Texas. We are united across state lines from New York all the way down to Texas, here in Yellow Springs as well. And we support you guys, and we appreciate you. Clean water for Texas.
Peace, peace, peace. My name is Farrell March, and I absolutely support clean water for Texas. Every human being deserves clean water and has the right to clean water. And I support this across state lines. Peace.
What's up? It's Talib Kweli, and I'm out here really, truly supporting clean water for everywhere on the planet, but right now, particularly, we need clean water for Texas. One love to Texas. Peace.
Peace. This is Just Blaze. I want this in my voice as a show of support and hopefully something that somebody can use in some art that will go towards this fundraiser. Salute.
What's up? My name is King Solomon Oye, me from Green Ideas and Wellness, and I support clean water in Texas. You know what I'm saying? It's going down. And shouts to Stacey Epps. Let's take care of those people down the way. You know what I mean? All right, peace.
Peace. This is Dylan down at ATL, checking in with love like water. It's what we're all made of. Love and water. Keep making them waves, y'all. Peace.
So shout out to DAORecords for this initiative. You can check out this collection on Clean Water for Texas fundraiser on OpenSea and see the amazing collection that has been put up here. And there's some definitely underrated NFTs here because we spotted as well like a visual made by D.O.N.S, which was sold, for I could say a ridiculous amount. This one particularly. So yeah, definitely that's great to see people raising for such cause, organizing on the blockchain. And so yeah, really wanted to shout out this initiative before we start and diving into this week's topic list.
Oh yeah, definitely shout out DAORecords for that. That's good. Always good to see some pure initiative and doing the right thing with this type of power. Because, if we don't use this type of technology and this type of resource for good, we kind of can lose ourselves in the lights, so to speak. So this is great to see. It's beautiful.
Yeah. Absolutely. So moving on, this week's just a little tiny promotion in the continuation and transition from the shout out to DAORecords. We have this collaboration with Boomboxheads, Vandal, and Kony Digital coming up in 10 days. So I guess we'll have the occasion to maybe talk about deeper next week. But just wanted to highlight the OG crew. Boombox did an amazing, the Boombox.
Well, shout out to this collab here with a bunch of OGs. We got Godfrey Meyer, Mighty33, Kony Digital, Van Digital.
Hey, okay, do you hear me? Yeah.
I hear you.
Think we're good. Sorry, this is a cable issue and I try, to turn it in every direction for it to work, but it's like an old cable that I probably should change. But it's all good, I think. So yeah, I was on a Boombox head. You summarized it perfectly, and yeah, shout out to the OG gang that made again a lot of noise this week. But I can tell you, do lots of noise in the coming weeks. So yeah, big shout out to Boomboxhead for this amazing creativity that he has putting out those boxes that will be available on Rarible. And he's very advanced in the royalties tracking, all the innovation around NFTs and having sort of performing right organizations, decentralized ledger, of royalties and stuff. So he's very active in thinking and playing around, and I hope, one day we will have him on the show to talk these issues with him. And maybe I believe the drop of this collaboration may be a good occasion to invite him on the show. So, yeah, sorry for the cut. We're ready to dive in.
Dude. Plug it in, dog. Plug it in.
Yeah, it's always a lot of pressure to manage all these assets, the visuals and the sound and everything, but it's all good. And thank you for your patience here as well, I know. So, big names this week. We had Snoop Dogg, 6ix9ine, DJ Premier, Calvin Harris, The Weeknd.
Man.
I know you wanted to know more about how they thought about their NFT release process, and so yeah, Snoop just got his snippet.
Oh yeah, this is another classic. 2021. Snoop D.O.N.S. NFT. Never forget to pass it. Quickest way to get your ass kicked.
Have you seen this one?
Dude, I mean, we kind of talked about it in the DMs a little bit, but I didn't actually take a look at the actual NFT. There's a few things I find interesting. First of all, that beat is hard as fuck. I love the beat. And I find it interesting that he went with crypto.com.
Yeah.
Not that, I mean, because I think they just got into the NFT space and then they come out with a huge name. I find that a great marketing strategy on their point, on their part. But
yeah,
if we're talking about the actual collaboration and the NFT itself, I mean, I got mixed thoughts as always. I mean, being semi devil's advocate as always, I find it, it's like the most cliche drop possible in a way, almost.
Yeah.
Just because it's like, it's Snoop Dogg coming out on a brand new platform, dropping an NFT with arguably the biggest name in NFTs. And I mean, a part of me is just sitting here like, this is a massive money grab, but at the same time, I mean, at this point, I don't even know if that's fair to like call out. Because I think it's just so much what seems to be happening right now that I just like, it's kind of like a broken record to even say that, like, oh, they're just money grabbing. But I mean, like a Snoop Dogg NFT with Bleeple is a massive money grab to me. But
yeah, absolutely. Just to me, what was the most obvious is the form where it just looked like this advertisement from Just Eat, the ordering delivery food application that had an ad with Snoop Dogg, and basically it's just the same thing. It looks like you call Snoop Dogg, just say, hey, just eat, sneasel, pizzle, pillow. And then they did it the same thing with crypto.com, like, okay, just the 2021 NFT, diesel, shizzle, and then he got the check. But it's just funny to see. But Snoop Dogg is all, he's all okay, with that marketing today. He's done his career and he's all open about, doing this way. And so it's just fun to see him, openly doing these ads, because it's not even about music anymore. It's just using the brand name, for sure, to make big drops. But the end result has this funny look, like what's behind, just Snoop Dogg openly accept the collaboration and do his thing with the keywords that he's been paid for to do the end work. So it's funny.
Yeah, I feel some of these comments too, I mean, it's definitely not fair to be like, oh, it's a money grab, blah, 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 because, but, when somebody said, if you plan to stay, it's not really as much of a money grab as much as it is just like taking advantage of like a trend. And that's super true. So, I mean, definitely some fair points made. And I also see somebody else mentioned that Snoop Dogg has pretty much always been like a money grabber type of guy. Like, he's just always kind of going for the bag, which, respect. There's nothing wrong, I think.
He's totally open about it today. So it's not even something to point to. I mean, he sees his game, he's having fun with it, and it gives some funny results musically. So that's totally
Right.
okay to me. It's just to see the path of where he's going that is interesting today, and that he moved on to this NFT scene.
Yeah. No, I definitely feel it. And it ain't it yeah, somebody said he sold out a long time ago. Yeah,
Yeah,
100%. So
yeah.
I mean,
So
and like the only thing about this is like this to me is another thing where it just makes me question like when are we going to know, like when is this going to get old? When is it going to get old when a big celebrity name pops into the scene, drops an NFT and makes an exorbitant amount of money off of it, and then when is the mainstream crowd or even just the niche crowd of crypto just going to get kind of annoyed with it, or when does the value change? When does the market get oversaturated with celebrities? That's really the
yeah,
question.
I think there's multiple answers, but the first one would be when the metaverse culture will be, full at full speed, so that the previous culture doesn't really connect to it, and so doesn't look cool to it. And the other part of the answer is when everyone will have done his first NFT, and all the stars will have their first NFT. Then, we can get used to this phenomenon of having this first NFT out, and who today I feel is more about like taking the temperature of who's got the most influence in the celebrities. You can test this out through this NFT phenomenon where everyone's first NFT will be scrutinized. I don't know. Will be looked
Scrutinized. I got you.
scrutinized as from a professional perspective as who has the most influential value today.
No, yeah, I feel that. I mean, yeah, I guess we'll just we'll just have to wait and see how it plays out with the celebrity adoption of this. But this right here, what you have on the screen right now, I did not see this. So this is fucking crazy. You're saying that I don't know what this is, but you're saying, does this mean that 6ix9ine is making an NFT?
Yeah, absolutely. And on Nifty Gateway, I believe all the big celebrities of this week are dealing with Nifty Gateways mostly. And so, no, I'm saying shit. 6ix9ine is with Bondly, and we will look at it right after.
Okay.
Bondly, which I believe as well is pretty new to NFT. I see it as a kind of a crypto.com kind of move. And they are about to have a sale this April 9, this Friday, with a small collection of, his universe with the rainbow, the shark, and everything, this kind of art.
Yeah. I mean, he's been on that like animated type of art style. So I mean, I could see him, doing pretty well with this, but I find it also cool, or not cool, but I find it interesting that once again, this showcases that like a celebrity could come into a brand new platform and because it's so new right now, a celebrity could come into a brand new platform and basically blow that platform up or bring mass adoption to that platform simply because of the first person. Because who knows how many newcomers to the NFT space somebody like 6ix9ine brings.
And
right?
then
and if it's
that's the J. Rule story, where these celebrities might not all know the integrity of a new platform they are launching with, and later they can have the surprise of one having breaches or weakness that may not be good for the reputation for the artist and for the platform. So we will see what it does in the future. But it's pretty risky. I don't know. I'm just asking the question how risky it is for the celebrities to jump on new platform, as we know all of them will not survive. Pretty much like in the early internet, you will have thousands of websites, but not all of them get the adoption from the mainstream. So I find this interesting.
Yeah, that's a good point. But I guess we'll just have to see how it plays out. As we know, every week we see more and more celebrities pop in, and I think we've yet to see a real shift from the perspective. I think, like, obviously at first we were like, okay, a bunch of celebrities are getting in. This is
But
gonna
now
bring
everyone,
adoption.
yeah, now
But
everyone.
now it's curious to see what when that moment will happen where we kind of get a little more picky about how we look at a celebrity getting in and how they
Mhm.
get in and how they plan to stay. But it's interesting stuff.
Yeah, BB Studio. Paris Hilton seems very active. I saw her recent participation with Whale Shark, and I see him welcoming a lot, and I believe that's the best move because she seems really implicated in the space, and that's interesting to some of them. Yeah, looks like money grabbers, but you definitely see that many celebrities, it's not just because they are celebrities, but they do care and are really interested on a human level on those technologies, and whether it's about doing good or bad things out of it, because we will talk about it later, but I'm already seeing bad moves or moves that I'm really I would be cautious about. But yeah, DJ Premier. So it's like the checklist. We have the name of all our legends since we're born, and we see them, day by day, checking the list. Okay, he's got in the space. He's got in the space. We saw Boy George as well, and DJ Premier. Very excited about this one. Very simple, nifty gateway on April 28th.
Okay.
Very clean, smooth, in collaboration with Made by Animus, which is an artist collective dedicated to advancing the future of NFT crypto space. So lots of collaboration happening between artists and whether it's company or collectives to move things forward. It's like everyone has its own, organizations and can bring something to the table. I think we are that early, so that everyone has something to say, and which is very different and various in many ways. So it's time to listen to everyone's, accountful thoughts. And yeah, so Calvin Harris again. They all,
It's a big name. It's a big name right here.
Yeah, very big name coming from the EDM world. And I wanted to highlight a little bit later about why maybe we can ask the question about why the blockchain space is more engaged with EDM people right now than any other genres of music. But Calvin Harris is definitely a big name, going with Nifty Gateway to do a collaboration with Emil Nava, and they are releasing this collection of 3, I believe, or 5 NFTs, but I'm not sure. Oh yeah. You can feel the experimental side, compared to big hit records that he's made with like Rihanna or many big names.
Frank.
And this music sounds like, experimenting with NFT still. But
yeah, no, I feel that. I was gonna say, like, I think like NFTs give means to like a new form of creativity for a lot of people. I think like that's one thing where I think a lot of musicians are finding themselves like a little bit more free with these is they're able to kind of create something that maybe they thought like, hey, if I put this out on Spotify or if I made a major release with this, like where could I find this actually fitting? Whereas I see like these big name artists who have already made a name for themselves having hit records, like now they can have these little pockets of creativity, like really find their space, and they can actually, monetize or find value in them with these kind of collaborations and that kind
Yeah.
of cool stuff. So I see that as a good thing ultimately. I was gonna say one thing about all these celebrities coming in is like we can't ignore the fact that like obviously everybody's attracted to NFTs right now because of the potential to make so much money,
Mhm.
and I don't think that that's a problem at all. I don't
No.
really want to bash that because I know I already basically said, "Oh, it's a money grab." But the thing that I wouldn't necessarily like myself is like I want to see a big name artist do something different with NFTs. Like, it's cool if you're gonna make a lot of money. I'm with that, but I just want to see that NFT have some sort of utility that is just unique, new, fresh, because it's still so new. It's like everybody should be trying to innovate instead of just creating an NFT with a cool artist. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. I don't think that that's the problem. I'm just saying from a criticizing kind of point of view, I just want to see somebody like The Weeknd or Calvin Harris not just drop something creatively unique, but then to also create utility with that digital asset. That's the thing that I'm real excited about and have you really yet to see a lot of.
Yeah, absolutely. And thanks, BB Studio. I came for the money and stayed for the art. That's something that I hear so often, and most of the time from the traders, and the artists as well. But the artists are, by essence, wants to earn more money than they do on the traditional system. So obviously they are here for the money because they're here to create this new way to have more fair revenue out of the huge work they put into their art. And at the same time, even for celebrities or people that may look like money grabbers today, at some point they may understand the profound change that it all implies. And to me,
Of course.
and in the
Of course.
end,
I just
stay
think
for the art. Yeah.
No. I totally agree with that. I'm just saying like have a little more like insight into the technology itself to not just come in for the money and like maybe of course there's no doubt. I think everybody in here probably agrees that like there's zero doubt that everybody will eventually be in this space and everybody will eventually see the potential and find a way to actually utilize the technology for not just money or getting value on something that they maybe couldn't have made value on, which is great, by the way. Once again, I'm not trying to hate on that, but it's just that, I want to see somebody who has the money and has the recognition, has everything that a small creator wants, which is, the people who really could benefit from NFTs. I want to see them maybe find a way to innovate before everybody's done it and then they have to innovate, right? Because that's the thing. Everybody's going to have to innovate at some point. Like, and there's no denial of that. But I just would like to see someone come out and just
But at the same
change the
time,
game.
there will be so many ways to innovate that they may even don't have to compete because they were so different, or maybe compete on the money level, the total in the end. But on how to do
That's
it,
fair.
there will be so many ways to do that. There will be precedent for all the new generations to do and to innovate on. But if there are peoples on the planet that may have the financial power as well to organize disrupting NFT release or strategy, it's definitely the celebrities more, or the platforms, but not the independent artists that can just produce mind power but not necessarily financial power over this. So it will be interesting at this point to see the competition from the celebrities to innovate on that, and that hasn't really started yet.
True. Well, I will say one thing before we maybe pop onto this next one, and that I find really interesting is once the metaverse itself, and once there's a main metaverse where pretty much everybody is, that I think will make NFTs go a whole different direction, and they will then have way more utility, because it's like, okay, hey, this NFT gives you exclusive content, right? Which is great. All of these things are cool. Smart contracts. I actually saw someone mention royalties and publishing and licensing inside of the NFT. I think that's the future for an independent creator who
We'll
wants
talk
to
about
sell
it.
their stuff. I love that. But once there is a main metaverse where everybody is really, really in, like everybody's on Instagram or everybody's on Facebook, once everybody is in one of these platforms that is clearly decentralized and NFTs have a real use case in them, that's I think, gonna be the biggest thing that really shifts everybody. And I see a video game being the thing that does that. You know, if there was a GTA, decentralized GTA metaverse world where every aspect of that game, we've said this before, but where every item is an NFT, and then every NFT that you can create could be implemented into that game. I mean, bro, it's fucking game over. Then NFTs are going to be like, then the creativity and the potential will be met. Because I think we all know that there is the potential in that way, but we just haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, that's a Ready Player One. I mean, Steven Spielberg was all
For sure.
all right on all that. That's one of the movie that helped me truly grasp the fact that it may be happening. Actually, it was really prophetic in a way. So the Weeknd, very interesting for me in many ways, because obviously he's the top star of today. He's made the Super Bowl. And he's maybe one of the top 10 selling artists, streaming artists today. So, and he announced doing his first NFT. We talked about it last week, but he announced even more on his Instagram officially, and then on Nifty Gateway. Again, it seems that Nifty Gateway has the the good vibe these times. And yeah, he collaborated with a visual artist, which seems to be the way for every celebrities here, which is very, very interesting. But yeah, don't know if there is an extract of that here. Yeah, BB Studio, prayers for DMX, and this all ties together with what I think.
I'm sorry,
right now. Yeah.
I'm sorry, but that comment is fucking hilarious, bro. I mean, I realize like it shouldn't be funny, but BB Studios comes in with the zinger. That is actually ridiculous. That's hilarious, bro. But yes, good prayers up for our man DMX.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it all ties out together with my thoughts about this drop around the Weeknd, because as him being the top star of today, he's what the conspiracists would call part of the gang. And so it's very interesting because many of the conspiracies have called out the Weeknd to showcase very, very, very occultic art, music and music videos and stuff. So he's very deep in the occult thing, and whether he's conscious about it or not, or just locked like many top stars has been across the years in that game. And so seeing him doing NFTs to me is a real wonder, because how he announced it, he developed the artwork with Strange Loop Studios, which is a LA, Los Angeles based studio. So I'm wondering, is he doing this as an independent, or like is he trying to get out of his music industry deal, that he may realize that's not maybe what he wanted on some extent. And so yeah, I'm very curious about the drop of the Weeknd in the NFT space, as I know him very tied to the occultic music industry, the one that we don't want really to take over this new space. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think you made some interesting points. I know me and you have some very interesting viewpoints on what you kind of mentioned about, somebody like The Weeknd, who may be under the control of the industry, so to speak. So I do think it's a little bit interesting to see somebody with that big or that much of a, that involved with the industry to get involved with NFTs, because as we know, NFTs are going to be the thing that's going to free all independent creators. It's going to allow
that's the
us to be
paradox
able-
here.
Yeah, right. So I mean, it's a bit of a, it makes me look around. It makes me want to keep my neck on a swivel. What is going on, right? So
Yeah.
a little bit worrisome, but at the same time, maybe you're right. Maybe this is like kind of a defiant move from The Weeknd, and he's like, look,
I mean, either this or a move from the industry to get into the space. I'm wondering, and I mean, I prayers to DMX, because he's been calling out this stuff, and he some of them some may say that he's been targeted today anyway.
For
but
sure.
that's interesting, and there's a third topic to look into a little bit later that ties to this as well, which is really weird to me. But anyway, just wanted to ask those questions around those news this week.
Oh, good points though. I fuck with the art too. Like I like it almost seems like the visuals seem almost like ancient Egypt statues, like in the dust. So I mean, I fuck with the art, and I fuck with The Weeknd. I think he's super dope.
Yeah,
I mean,
his music.
His come up story is incredible. I mean, he's a super guy. Like he's one of those dudes who does it. He really does it. You know what I'm saying? Like he crushes. So
yeah,
respect to him.
that's not always the case, but that's one of the artists I saw from his really first release on the underground scene, like years and years ago. So, and we were like, oh, this guy is something. But then you see the Super Bowl and the NFT and everything. That's crazy to witness the history of this guy. But musically, he's definitely, I love it, and I love all that's been around him. It was just diving further into the symbolic meaning of his more recent success. That's been pretty disturbing in many ways. But here's another one. Oh no, it's the same. So moving on, I wanted to ask this question, like maybe you have or the chat has a take on this one, that why the blockchain space has more EDM artists aware of the space, aware of the capabilities of blockchain and space. I mean, looking at the dashboard of Audius, which is every data processed by Audius, in the top genre sections of all time, we definitely have a peak in the electronic, and in second place come the hip hop and the rap music, but the electronic music definitely, he's way beyond and way more conscious about what's happening in space and this transformation.
Right. I mean, my take on that is probably because a lot of electronic artists are doing a lot more remixing, doing a lot more things where they're taking other forms of art and they're putting them together. And I think because of that, there's copyright issues, and Audius can bypass all of that. So you can put it up on Audius and really not have any copyright issues, which I also think is kind of a problem of Audius. But at the same time, they claim like they're trying to fix that. I mean, but I do think that is probably one of the biggest reasons why you see Audius have the most electronic musicians, is because they're basically they're looking for a way to be able to put out the music that they've made without having any consequences, so to speak. So, and then hip hop being second. I mean, I just think that's because it's probably the most popular form of music being created nowadays.
Yeah, absolutely. And I believe what I'm thinking might take a part of the answer is that maybe the electronic scene may have, take advantage of the internet, of the computers, of music softwares, and so on. Maybe earlier than today's hip hop music wave of new generation, the trap music and everything that took benefit of the home studio setup. Just having a laptop, a few drum kits, and then you can do trap music, and that sounds very great. It's just about your energy and your emotion. But the first really to maybe have an advantage on managing and learning all these skills and assets and technical, the computers and the music softwares and stuff. Maybe the electronic young scene. Young or not young, because I definitely do see the pioneers getting involved as well, like the pioneers in the hip hop world. It's very interesting, but yeah, that just my take. That they might.
I agree. I agree with that. I think you're right. I think a lot of the as we know, like just sonically, like electronic artists, I think are way more in tune with engineering and more of the technical side of creating music, and they have much more almost intelligent approach to their creations. Although maybe the music itself isn't mainstream, I think that the technical skill of a electronic producer or artist is going to be more of the future of sound itself. I mean, we see that with low end period. I think EDM and electronic music is pretty much where our ears became addicted to that type of sound. So I think you're definitely right on that, and the fact that they're probably, without being like rude, I think they're probably more of they're probably more intelligent. They're thinking more, so they're more in tune with the future of technology. They're more in future with the future of where things are going. So maybe that's why they found this type of space and this type of technology. So I can agree with that for sure.
Yeah, I'm sure there's more reason to that as well, but yeah.
Right. I also think the developers just have much more pull with the EDM scene. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's the key. You know what I mean? You're not gonna hit up the Weeknd and be like, "Hey, come on to Audius." You know what I mean? They don't have as much. There's a whole lot of there's way more electronic artists and producers out there that probably make quality music, but it just doesn't have a place to exist. And I think like they're always on the hunt for a place to like really put their music out and find a place where they can get seen or get heard. So I think it's a combination of pretty much everything that you said.
Yeah, I definitely agree. So yeah, we'll see. I'm pretty sure the hip hop will have a huge influence once it really clicks with the scene, and may beat the EDM at some point, as there's definitely more of the hip hop vibe around the world right now than the EDM vibe. But who knows? I mean, I trust as well to a comeback of the electronic music scene in the upcoming trends. But and probably thanks to the blockchain and the metaverse and the cyberpunk vibe, we see many club vibes coming back into even Elon Musk. His NFTs was more EDM than hip hop if you look at it. So who knows?
Definitely.
So yeah,
I mean, no disrespect to EDM artists or EDM producers, but I will say I think EDM is a much easier form of music to create as well. I mean, as after pretty much kind of hyping up the technology and the intelligence behind engineering it, I just think that you don't have to be as much of a musician. And I mean, take this how you will, guys. But at the end of the day, I think that you don't have to be as much of a world-class musician to make quality EDM music.
Absolutely.
You just need to know more about computers, and you need to know more about how to program stuff, and then being intellectual about understanding frequency and mixing and engineering like that. I think that's probably a role in why you see more people creating more EDM type music as well. I mean, given Elon Musk, I mean, that guy probably can't play an instrument, no disrespect, but probably the truth. I mean, I don't know though. Maybe he'd surprise me. Maybe he'd shred.
No, definitely, I can only agree with you. There's always been reflections around EDM music, and always a big concerns when it came to big superstars like David Guetta's. He was criticizing a lot by just doing productions with only one note, one sound, and but yeah, it's all about the energy that's behind house music, electronic music, and that cares more than being a music artist, music technician. So yeah, definitely.
Right. Yo, real quick, shout out Easy, the proud. I couldn't be more happy about this. First of all, thank you for letting me come on last night, but fucking shout out Easy for collecting Digital's staking NFT. You're the fucking man. I can't thank you enough. That's amazing, dude. And I mean, we'll definitely talk more after this, but shout out you, dude. You're the fucking man.
Yeah, shout
right
out
on.
Easy. Yeah, maybe that's the right moment to talk about it. But I wanted to share you my sentiment that I saw the sales around staking, and I was mind blown, very happy for you, and seeing as well the connections, the people wanted to buy these NFTs, and Easy being one of them. So I tried to put into your shoes and kind of see at what stage you were. I mean, my point is that I felt like you may had more of this maturity coming to the space thanks to the opportunities and things that are happening to you since you're here, and I mean, it feels good for me, for you, that you have the right opportunities to learn the best way in this space, having a good entourage, and thanks to Connie as well, big shout out to Connie, to be well surrounded and take good maturity over the space. So I don't know, do you feel something like this, or?
Man, I mean, yeah, I definitely feel a very. I could definitely feel. I feel a type of way for sure, in a great way. I mean, I came, as we kind of met. I literally met Connie and you in the most hilarious way possible. I reached out. Well, this was before I reached out to either of you guys, but I was literally just exploring crypto voxels, like just walking around the metaverse in Connie's space, and Connie was in it. He was just walking around his metaverse space, and I was like, "Oh, what up, dude?" Like, blah 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 blah. And I sent him a DM later and was just like, "Hey, like, what's up, dude? I see like you're involved in the space. I'm super interested in everything. Like, I just need to like learn more." And while I was in his voxel space, I was like, "Yo, who built this couch?" I was like, "This couch is fire, dude." And he was like, "Oh, this guy named Mighty33 bought it or built it for me." I was like, "Man, I need to get in contact with this guy." I was like, "How much did?" I was like, "How much did it cost?" He's like, "Oh, that's just my man's. Like, he just built it for me." I was like, "Man, I need to talk to this guy." So, and I had actually already reached out to you in a DM, but we didn't actually. I don't know. You just ignored me. No, I'm just kidding. I don't think you saw it. And then I hit you again, and I sent you a link to like those demos, and you reached back and you were like, "Yo, dude," and you had nothing but positive things to say, and it was just such a pure meeting of everything, man. It was just so beautiful to see everything work out. And, Connie's a super real ass dude, and I fuck with Connie heavily, and I fuck with his energy. And I just really vibed with him. And so I started sending him beats, and we started working together. And of course, you were so positive about the stuff that I had. I was like, "Yo, man, we need to do some shit together." And so I gave, as nobody really knows this yet, but you have been mastering and helping me put together my music for like the past couple months, and that's something I'm real excited to share. But that's coming soon. That's coming later. But I mean. But nonetheless, like the meeting of everything was just so genuine and so pure, because the reason I even found this space was because I needed real freedom from the world that I had kind of already got exposed to, which is like the typical industry world, and I was just super turned off by it. And I was like, man, I was almost desperate in a way to find a world that I felt was going to give an independent creator real freedom and real opportunity for freedom. So when I found everybody, and that was back in October, November, and we just slowly built together, you know, and then we did the New Year's Eve show together, and we started our show and shout out TokenSmart for just having the fucking balls to be like, yeah, go ahead. And here we are on episode 12 doing this every week. And, you know, man, it's just beautiful. It's just beautiful, man. It's just amazing.
Yeah, I love
shout out
to
Mongo.
hear you.
Love it.
I love to hear you like this, and I can witness the story, and I can be very proud of what you did and where we are today, and have the same amount of gratitude that I feel. I can share that with you and with Connie, I feel as well, from the community that, it's really thanks to the community, because without this energy, nothing happens. And
For sure.
so again, as well, thanks to TokenSmart for, like you said, just letting us do our thing and with passion. And that's all I hear with your story, and that's how we clicked as well together, is being, used by the traditional industry and being raged so much that we, had to do something. And even if on the human side, it's, it requires organization and staying in balance, but we all as well care and look for each other, mental health and well-being. Everyone is always helpful when you have a situation or something that need assistance as well, tricky things when it comes to the business or new things in the space as well. That's there's a great learning curve and definitely some maturity to acquire in full understanding of this new space. And I feel like through these recent opportunities and your determination as well and your pure light, that it isn't distorted and welcome. So it's all welcome, and that you get, the right tools in your hands to move in the right directions, I believe. So, yeah, really shout out to you as well. And thanks for bearing with me.
Dude, of course, bro. I feel the love, man, and yeah, man. Shout out to the community that is here. I know last week we had a nice camaraderie vibe at the end, and it's just this conversation just reminds me that, like, you're totally right. Like, if it wasn't for the community itself and everybody just being so supportive of each other and everybody wanting to teach each other and really bring the real ones in, and just keeping things like cultivating and growing, I think like that just speaks wonders to this Discord and everybody in it and the community of the music blockchain space. I mean, we're here to free ourselves, and I think like that energy is pure enough that I think we can run off of that and build a better future for everybody. That's really the whole goal here. So I'm just honored. I'm honored to be here. I'm honored Easy fucks with us enough to collect, and shout out you again, man, and of course shout out you, Mighty, mad love, and yeah, man, I'm just excited to keep building. This is good shit.
Yes, well, totally, and definitely it's just a start. It's only the beginning.
Exactly, bro. That's the craziest part is, man, we're
just first gear,
just starting.
Yeah, absolutely. So okay, let's move on. And I had this exciting mention from Anne-Marie Alanes that just realized an interview for an upcoming Async release. I'm very excited about those. Let me just play it real quick.
To continue, while music streaming blockchain sites seem to be tangling themselves into the messier parts of the legacy music industry's web, independent crypto music artists seem to have found success on the more visually oriented NFT platform, posting their music for sale along with a visual element or posting music videos. And crypto collectors are buying. If this is where musicians are seeing success, perhaps it's NFT platforms, not streaming platforms, that are a good foundation for future crypto music platforms to build on. One such platform would be Async Art. Async art is a digital platform for art made dynamic without the need for coding knowledge. Changes are based on data like statistics and time. The artist provides the menus of changes, and the collectors of each of the art's layers can customize from their menu, changing the look of the overall piece. Well, now, Async is offering music in that same vein. Async music is composed of a single master track NFT and multiple STEM NFTs, just like a programmable artwork. STEM NFTs are effectively the same as layer NFTs. They have the ability to change what the current master track both looks and sounds like.
And yeah, so she recently, yesterday, interviewed HMLTD, which is a group, a music group that I believe will be releasing a piece on Async as well in their debut. So you can check up, and I will drop the link in the replay, the full interview with the group talking about their upcoming NFT on Async. And so yeah, just a shout out. Thank you, Anne, for the mention. I also wanted to highlight her work because we talked a little bit, and she initiated an idea that I had back in the days, but didn't have any time to do. It's not only my idea, but I mean, it's something that was in the air that was necessitated. It was a NFT marketplace comparative, full document that lists all the NFT platforms, and she started it, and so and she kindly invited me to as well participate and maybe link it to the map. That would add up definitely, because that's in the context of the map that I wanted to develop an NFT platform and marketplace comparator. So here it is. It will be shared soon in connection to the map, and that's a huge work, and it's very greatly executed. So big shout out to Anne-Marie here.
Yeah, this is something that's could be really, really cool. This type of stuff is not just innovation with the technology, but this could innovate the creation of music itself. So these types of things are they're experimental, and it's really going to take a certain type of culture, type of cultivation to really utilize it. But I think that the idea and the technology behind it is undeniably interesting. And who knows who can really find value in something like this. But I do definitely fuck with this type of shit.
Yeah, it's very interesting to how to, as an artist, how to think of a piece that has 9 layers of 9 tracks, and it's kind of a puzzle on the new way to create, and as a puzzle, I don't know, it's it's pretty fun to play with it in your mind as an artist. It's definitely a disruptive way to look at creation.
Right, definitely. That's what I mean, and that's why it's like almost, this isn't going to be for your typical musician. That's why I almost feel like this could breed a whole other aspect of creation. And who knows, if it goes well one time and that song becomes a hit, then more people are gonna be like, hey, let's do this. Who I could see, like, we've had many talks about different types of ways to co-create in this space with this type of technology. But imagine a high school with a bunch of random kids all getting together and making this type of shit happen, and next thing you know, some high school kids like blast off with some crazy song that's created with this type of programmable NFT technology, and then somebody else learns it, and then it becomes like a little competition, and people adopt the technology and people start to learn how to use it, and next thing you know, you got a whole culture breeded around just that type of vibe. And I do think that the idea of kids finding their way into this technology is going to be the moment. And that's why I also think that metaverse and video games are gonna be a big part of that, because I think video games and kids, obviously a huge connection right now. So, and that's the easiest thing I can see people latching onto that'll bring people in and really sell them on like the importance of it, Whereas right now, it's like a collectible's a great, but it's like how much of that is going to permeate into a youthful mind and like become competitive. And there's just so many layers to creating a culture behind something. And I do think like a healthy amount of competition is key to really blowing up a whole culture behind this. So
Yeah,
we'll see what happens. I fuck with it.
I definitely agree with what you said and the gamification. I mean, in the future, I can definitely see, in a virtual world, you can collect parts of the song, and there's a whole game around this artist releasing a song, and then you have to go in virtual worlds to, have this mission, this quest to complete an artwork or whatsoever. So yeah, it's definitely a lot of room for all of that, and we see the different pieces of this puzzle emerging that at some point, and this will be the interesting point, to all connect together into some various forms of marketing strategies and possibilities and stuff.
Definitely.
Yeah. So in that sense, there's been a huge news this week with again something pretty disruptive, which is fractional NFT, but in music. I mean, we know the concept of fractional art, which is buying just a stake of an art piece to invest in it and potentially bet on the piece. But and we talked as well about Ditto music distribution company that launched their blockchain initiatives that was called BlueBox a few weeks ago, along Opulus, the company that can lend money directly from investors to artists to start up their career. But this week's the milestone is being an NFT sold on BlueBox, and in a fractional way. So 125 people participated in that sale, and so 125 people will have a stake on this music piece, basically. So that's pretty huge. They say it's about 125 people. Some of them would have less than 1% stake on this piece, and that it's not about making money over one piece, but in the future someone can have a huge portfolio of music stakes and make a living out of this system. So I could personally collect thousands of great songs and earn only 1% of them all, and in the end make a good living out of this. So this was very interesting to highlight this week. Fractionalized music up to 125 people. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, this is super exciting. I mean, this is dope. I remember you sent me this, and perhaps I didn't really know I didn't really read the article when you sent me it. I just kind of read the headline. I was like, oh, this is interesting. But yeah, I mean, this could be crazy. I mean, this is the type of shit that like could really help an independent creator get the funds together so that they don't have to do something where they involve a label or a bunch of external people that are going to take way too much % of their art. So, I mean, this is crazy. I mean, what's the legality issues with this? There's got to be some sort of, maybe I missed it, but like what there's got to be some sort of something to like teeter on where this isn't going to be so simple.
Yeah, I don't know, but the legal issue seems pretty blurry for the whole blockchain space yet. I continue to read some articles that the main essence of a blockchain is to be free. So that's definitely a huge debate and topics around that. How to regulate something? It's like the internet. How to regulate the internet? In the end, you never really will be able to. But there's kind of a conflict here, and it will probably last for very long time before it's really sorted out. But definitely right now the NFT sales and all the craze are definitely unregulated in the whole world pretty much. So it's more about the tax and stuff, but it's not very clear on the level of clearness that everyone will soon have to, care.
Right. Well, yeah, I mean, once the regulations and pretty much once these types of things are solved, because I do think that, we're going to need some XRP-esque moments, which, I mean, not to bring up XRP, but oh, you haters, what are you saying now, bro? What you saying now, bro? I'm just kidding. But listen, what I'm trying to say by the XRP thing is basically like, you need a type of legal battle to create regulations. And if some artist needs to have a hit song with 100 fans that own fractionalized NFTs of the royalties of that to go viral, so that the SEC steps in and is like, hey, by the way, that's a security and we're about to throw you in jail. And there's a massive like debate going on. I think like that type of thing can help regulate, but I feel like we're gonna have to see that happen before we see it get better. Do you know what I mean? Like we almost need a lawsuit to come into play to make this all happen. So
Yeah, definitely. And I would personally won't be overlooking XRP's NFTs because I believe they will come at some point. And with the feelers technology and stuff, it will be something, I believe. But it's not there yet already. I know the connection to the smart contract capabilities are coming. But yeah, I believe NFTs on the XRP blockchain, distributed ledger technology, may be something to look at some point, especially to solve the gas problem. But I don't know. We'll see. Another news is that, yeah, Rocki released their NFT feature. They were talking about it. That was the purpose of the platform when they launched. And to recapitulate, Rocki was shown before years ago, and the Shun experiment didn't work out. So fortunately enough, they got the support from Emanate to continue their experiment and create something new that was Rocki. And I'm very happy to see them back. And so the promise is to combine streaming and NFTs. But the NFT feature was not live yet, and so it is now. And so please, everyone, go on Rocki, especially artists, to experiment with that functionality. And yeah, so it's
hey
live.
Hey guys, Bjorn Niklas here from Rocki. Today I'm going to show you a little video tutorial on how you issue your own music NFTs on Rocki.
Here it is. So definitely check out the
Dude, I thought that they were in the TokenSmart Discord. I thought that they were just like popping in. I was like, what the fuck? We got a Rocki representative in the chat right now? I was like, geez, dude, what up, bro? This is crazy.
Yeah, I'm very excited about Rocki. I was waiting for the NFT feature to really dive in, as it was the promise at start. But I do look very closer, when there's such an experiment, especially with someone or a team that has already had an adventure before trying to disrupt the music in the blockchain space. And we know many of these experiments are pretty difficult to put all together. So that's where I first saw this crazy energy from this community, is when those projects were not having success, or having to create something new, or facing issues that's where I started to see communities that were so believing of the ideas behind, that were supportive so much to the point that they could have a second chance and learn from their mistakes, and go on the bike again, even though if in this space it's so hard to get back on the bike again.
Right.
So big shout out to Rocki. I will get
Yeah,
to
definitely.
it.
I might have to dive in. I haven't actually dove into the Rocki platform yet. I remember when they first started, I was gonna do it, but they like weren't letting everybody upload music there. So I was like, all right, well, I guess I'll just wait. But I know that it's all open up now, so maybe I'll give it a dive this week.
Yeah, the same for me. Absolutely. And yeah, I had a little shout out to Scrilla, because they were investigating a lot Clubhouse rooms this week, especially relating to NFTs. And their feedbacks was pretty much that there's a lot of people talking a lot of things, but everyone is still pretty dumb on NFT on Clubhouse right now. It's like, I've heard of NFTs, but blah, 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 blah. And a lot of talks, a lot of noise. That's what I'm trying to point out to. But I couldn't be, I still can't access Clubhouse, so I just give my ID out of feedbacks. But the shout out is to the fact that where Scrilla did an NFT to criticize, to make a parody of what's happening here in Clubhouse. And so this is this NFT. Shout out to Super Rare.
Mama! Mama! It's not the way to do it. Mama! This shit is bugged, man.
Here it is. So it may sound weird, but I understand how, you hear the claps in the background. It's just people saying blockchain and everyone applauds. And so I think that's what their critique is.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's like the common. That is definitely common. I totally feel it.
What you mean common?
No, I mean like I feel the meme basically saying that, like, you mention anything about the blockchain world and people are just like,
yeah, absolutely. That's the vibe.
If I'm understanding what you're saying.
Yeah, no, that's what I understand as well. So yeah, very exciting news was that I came across this article saying that music schools in Ireland will start to accept cryptocurrencies as a payment for music lessons. So maybe sooner than you would have expected, close to you, my world, you would have your music school and you will be able to give guitar lessons and be paid in crypto officially from your music school. Who knows?
Shit. Why not? Why not?
That's interesting.
No, that would be very dope if that's the case. I mean, I think the thing right now that's like, and this is like more, this isn't as much of a thought on music technology in blockchain as much as it is just overall on crypto, but I just don't know how I feel just yet spending crypto on things. I just don't know. I think I'm a little bit on the fence about it. I don't know how I would feel about paying like Chipotle in fucking Ethereum or Bitcoin or something.
That's like, the pizza Bitcoin, yeah.
Yeah, which is crazy. Which is fucking crazy. But it's like, I just don't know how I feel about that. So it's hard to tell.
Yeah, because suddenly your music lesson a year after might be worth 5-10 times more. So yeah.
Right. And easy. I totally feel that. Like, there's something about what's MightyMai Clubhouse handle? I don't think we have a Clubhouse handle, to be honest with you.
No, not yet.
But yeah, if it's in the crypto space, I feel like I definitely feel if it's in the crypto space, it makes sense to spend the crypto in the crypto world. But then giving the crypto to a non-crypto world sounds a little more. I'm a little more hesitant on that end, because I know then that it might not be going to the best place, and it might not be in the best hands at that point, and then I have to trust, Chipotle, that they're not planning to just get ahead of everybody. Because I mean, like, what a better plan than to start accepting crypto, and everybody starts giving away their crypto to these companies again, and then all of a sudden those companies have more leverage than ever before when everything starts to shift. As I think we all know that shift will eventually come. The second that everybody has a digital wallet, it's going to really change the world. So, and a digital currency is 100% on the horizon, in my opinion. But, and who knows?
Yeah, the CBDCs and all that. That's the way from the bank world to try to get on the playground. But yeah, another kind of form of accepting Bitcoin payments is this news. The music company founded by Dr. Luke, and we will get back to this the Weeknd talk again a little bit. So his music company enables Bitcoin payments for songwriters and producers. I'm not quite advised about what his music company is doing, but I'm pretty advised on what his music work is. And so he's coming into the blockchain world, but that's my big but, is that if you're a little bit, if you know Dr. Luke's story, it's pretty bad. Like, it's very, very bad. I mean, you could look at the list of people he worked with, and again, all connect that to the occult gang. And so, like Doja Cat, Dua Lipa, Katy Perry, Miley Cyrus, Maroon 5, and The Weeknd. So that all ties to what we will call out as the big industry gang. And he's been called out a lot, especially with Kesha, because he's been accused many times to basically being the handler of Kesha and abusing her and all along throughout her career and forcing her to do music stuff and anything. So when I see Dr. Luke getting into this space, I'm like, well, he's not doing an NFT platform or anything. He's just accepting Bitcoin for his own business, that whatever it is. But again, he's just pointing out all kinds of energy, goods and bads, involving in the space, and yeah, just being careful about this.
Yeah, this is weird, interesting. So much development. I was pretty unaware of a lot of the topics this week, so this is this one's like one of the ones I have no idea about.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds cool. It sounds good. The headline sounds great.
Yeah, but do you know, I mean, personally about Dr. Luke's story, or have you came across his name or
no
in the industry?
No, I heard what you said though, and that would definitely make me weary about him. So it's, I mean, dude, that's the thing. Like, it's so hard to tell who to trust. And I mean, that's why I think, and this is not investment advice. I'm not no expert at anything. All I would say about all of these thoughts is just that, having an exit strategy is important, and having a means of staying as on guard as possible during these great prosperous times and all this adoption. It's all great stuff. But being as aware of the possibility that something can come out of nowhere and potentially disrupt things in a bad way or lead you the wrong direction is I'm always on guard of, because me and you are definitely you and I obviously have our thoughts about certain things, and as much as I believe in the long-term aspect of everything going on here, it's just when you see some names get into the space, it almost makes me question, like, all right, wait a minute, I thought this was supposed to free us.
Yeah, that's my point.
Right. So why are these guys getting involved? And that's like it's like controlled opposition. Whereas it's like, if this industry person gets involved, like it almost makes me question, like, all right, like what should I be worried that you're getting involved? Should I be listening to you too? Like what's the catch here? What's the catch? And maybe that's my paranoid mind.
No, that's what I'm wondering as well. That's my way to look at it, is like what to think of it when you look at the background and knows that when you dive into the music industry history, that there are not cool stuff happening around certain people, and that you don't want this new economy to be poisoned with that. And so yeah, like you said, it's what it's all about. But again, it's free for everyone, like the internet, so you will have the bad behaviors flourishing over the blockchain world. It's just about calling it out, or just make the good people being vigilant about these initiatives. Sorry.
Right. So, just some healthy skepticism. That's all.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, we're watching. We're interested. Honestly, yes, you should be worried. I fucking feel you, dude. Like, we should be worried. Like, you gotta understand, like, the thing that I think is really, really crazy is, like, dude, there are more people fucking getting rich right now than ever before in history, yet we are in the weirdest time of all time. So there's gotta be something that's gonna happen, man. There's gotta be, like, something's gotta happen at some point. And that's not me being negative or like, what's the word? Pessimistic. It only makes sense. It just makes sense. So
yeah, it was pretty mixed feeling this week, when I came across the researchers for this week's show, and like this news about Apple leading in a 50 million investment round in Steve Stoute's UnitedMasters, joined by Alphabet and Andreessen Horowitz. I mean, again, I'm not. It's not about saying everyone in the big corporation industry is evil or whatever. That's not how it works. But it's just about the backgrounds and trying to, because I had incredible vibes from Steve Stoute's interview about talking about NFTs, and I would share the link. He did an interview of 1 hour with Charlemagne Dagod on the Breakfast Club, talking about this 15 million investment from Apple, and I'm definitely with it. I'm definitely with him with how he talks about it, with his explanation of it. And he says, that basically from day one, Apple was all about supporting the creators, and I believe they do. It's just, that they put the price of $1 per music. They put that up, and no one had, their word on this economic model that transformed the whole industry, disrupt everyone, and pretty much, abolished the physical economy in the music. But at the same time, they are developing the Mac, the computers that are definitely the most used computers amongst producers, designers, everyone. That definitely unleashed the creativity around the world. So they are still with artists and want artists to create. And they see the NFT scene, they see all these, they want to participate in the artist's freedom. And I'm sure it may have been their intention, even though with iTunes, to disrupt and help the artist to have a new economy. So there's good and bad on each of these situations. It's more about the influence it had over the world, and everything balancing together, finding a new balance for it to thrive. So I'm definitely looking forward what Steve Stoute is doing, and I recommend looking at his interview, just a couple seconds of it.
Wake that ass up. In the morning. The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ MV Angela Yee, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. We got a special guest in the building.
Yes, sir.
Steve Stoute.
What's up? What's up? What's up?
What's up, Stoute? So
congratulations, man.
Yeah,
first
congrats,
of all,
man.
Thank you very much. I feel like home when I come here.
Yeah,
honestly.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like this whole thing is played out. Well, first of all, my career is played out in front of you guys.
Mm-hmm.
This is you're in the business, but more importantly, or just as important, UnitedMasters and the idea, specifically on this show, has played out. And shit, that was rude. And we're in New York City, man.
Mm-hmm.
Right. We're in the studio.
Absolutely.
We out in these streets. It feels good.
Yeah, so I don't know exactly what it all be about. I just watched it before the show. But yeah, like we said, it's all mixed feeling throughout the week. Because again, there's another news that I wanted to talk about, which comes to Sony Music. And Sony Music has acquired this technology that is AWAL, which means artist without a label. And
AWAL.
AWAL, yeah. And so it makes you wonder, okay, so Sony is aware that they are no longer a major company, or they may have to adapt. And I do fuck with Sony, definitely. I believe have the lead in the good way to see things. But yeah, so they are aware that they may not be a major company anymore, but more of a supporting marketing power when artists come to the higher level of successfulness, and that they are reshaping their whole economy to this purpose. So AWAL is basically an automatic filter through algorithm and everything, so that every artist in the world can submit music through this platform and reach a certain level of successfulness. But when they reach too much celebrity, they need another kind of support, bigger support, the kind of major label support brings. And so that's why Sony smells that it might be interesting to connect with AWAL, because artists, when they got successful, opt out of AWAL because the infrastructure was not heavy enough to support their new found success. So Sony thought like, okay, we will merge with AWAL so that every artist that submits can have the chance, once they reach the great level of success, to onboard with real players that are Sony in marketing and business, at a higher level of financial power and stuff, so that it all stays in the loop. Because after AWAL, when they were meeting great success, artists were opting out to Epic Records or Def Jam, or so Sony was like, okay, maybe if we book this when they have the greater success, it stays in our loop. And that's very clever, but it also states that they are conscious that they are no longer labels like they used to be, in a structural way.
Right. I mean, yeah, this is I could have mixed feelings about this. I mean, I think we all know that like this is kind of this is something that's inevitable in a way, is like when big companies like Warner in Colombia discover that they're going to lose leverage and they're going to lose grip on what they think they have full grip on, because independent creatives in the youth and coming up through this type of technology, they're going to lose all of their leverage and they're going to lose all of their stranglehold on what they have leverage wise on people and on artists. So I think we're going to just see more of this. We're just going to see more big companies buy up more small companies, and they're going to basically find their way to once again have centralized power over some sort of something that was supposed to be freedom for us, right? And this is what we
I don't know.
kind of
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead, please.
I mean, I don't know. I more see it as a humble move, or I can see it as a humble move, saying like, okay, we are not the ultimate goal to reach, but we may still be this useful tool that, if algorithms do their job and that the social power leads to your, to your talent, and we are still here to make business and give you support, and that, and in this way that can go towards more legit collaboration between labels and artists, which makes the label doesn't control the artist, but more of being one tool in their set to accomplish the great level of business that is required, because being real, the majors company master business like not much does. And that's still helpful for artists that reach a certain amount of success or things to deal or environment to deal with. So yeah, it's more, I can see it as a, and we will see in the future if it's the case, but like, yeah, we are still here. We are not the ultimate goal of an artist, you see. But sure, for doing so, they are spending 430 millions to acquire a filter that will help them do the job they were supposed to do manually. So they are taking advantage, of course, this way of facilitating their job to find the best gems around. But I mean, that's their game, so they can do it. They do it.
Right. I agree. I mean, I think there's definitely a positive aspect to it. But just once again, always playing devil's advocate. It's just more of a monopolized move. And I mean, like, of course it could be positive, and if they are helping, but anytime I see someone spend 450 million to acquire a company, it just makes me think, what do I not know? What am I not seeing that they see? And what is it that they're planning that they know? No company of that stature is going to spend that much money unless they understand they are going to obviously make their money back. And they're obviously going to,
and
it's
take
obviously going to
advantage.
benefit them. They see something more long-term than clearly AWAL did. It's like, that's like saying like Facebook acquiring Instagram was like a humbling move by Facebook. I mean, we could say that was like a humble move by Facebook. I mean, sure, like, you see this company is going to basically out leverage you in the long term, so I'm going to buy them. I don't know if that's a humbling move or it's more like a fucking, it's like the total opposite of humble. It's like, I see what you guys are doing and
Keeping
I fuck with it
control.
so much that I'm going to buy it and then I'm going to take control of it. I mean, I see both sides, but it just makes me weary. That's all. I just don't like seeing anything, any centralized power that we know ultimately doesn't have the little guy's interest purchasing a smaller company who basically got known off of helping smaller interests. So I just think that there's like a, it's a back and forth. There's a positive and a negative to that, but only time will tell. But just keeping in mind.
Yeah, but like Mongoose Macrae said, I do believe, and I'm curious to see this same kind of power as Sony is, but as a DAO, because that's still the power. I mean, like you said, if you see Sony spending $430 million on something, it's obviously to keep Sony's in position. And all these kind of company want to keep their position and not let totally the tool be open source. like the decentralization move is pretty much about. So yeah, having the same force as, and I believe that's what Opulus is doing by lending money to artists directly and stuff, accessing to more power when it comes to their independent way of managing business. And so that's what Sony is proposing here. But again, there's room for everyone. So we will see where this goes when it comes to Apple or when this comes to Sony. But yeah, mixed feelings. That's been the pretty much the thing of this whole week's news. But on another note, something which I'm really excited about that I wanted to talk about is a new platform by something that I don't really know quite personally, but we shared a lot of something like our previous life in the EDM scene, which is D.O.N.S, D.O.N.S, who is a DJ producer that was around in 2010, and he's German. And I was definitely a big fan of his music at the time, and I was following his path. And especially he collaborated with another group which is called D.B.N, and who are Germans as well. And I was definitely like, that was the only thing I was listening at the time as being, you know, the electronic sound to me that speaked the more to me at the time. And so he's now into the blockchain and launching his own platform. I've seen over the past years that he's been involved in blockchain and such, but now he's launching his own platform, which is called Hypery, and you can definitely check. It's not live yet, but the way the website is up, and yeah, so it's basically about merging streaming and NFTs as well, which is something that we'll talk about right after. But yeah, I wanted to play a little bit of a sound clip from DBN and just to showcase the chat where I'm from and the connection with today's people in the music and blockchain scene. And so yeah, this was the sound of D.O.N.S and DBN. This was in 2010 or 12, I believe, something like that. And yeah, one of my favorite records of all time from that period. So much finesse in the production, like it's very clean, very controlled, and like you said earlier in the show, very intellectual way of seeing the music production that is very clean and mastered, and so and all about the clubs exploiting sound systems that got cleaner and cleaner and louder throughout the clubs across Europe and across the world at the time. And so yeah, I was experiencing in 2010 these records on some of the cleanest sound system in the biggest clubs in Paris, and that was just a blast. So that's where I'm coming from. I was so excited by this group that when I got my album signed at Warner Music, I literally, asked a lot my A&R to get a remix from these guys, and they made it happen. So I was really happy that the DBN guys remixed my music at the time. So I was not in contact with D.O.N.S directly, but we definitely fucked with the same playground. And that's interesting to see. That was the remix they did for me at the time.
Get to know you, I wanna 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 feel I do this feeling.
Yeah, so this was 2010, my previous life in the EDM world, and now back in full loop with Hypery and D.O.N.S. Here it is. Are you here, Mai?
Yeah, I'm here. My bad. I am here. I am here.
You were enjoying too much the music.
Yes, I am. I'm all over the place, to be honest with you. But I'm sorry. Did you ask me a question, bro? My bad.
No, that's fine. Have you heard?
I am still alive though. Yes.
You heard the music?
I did. Yeah, actually, I'm actually with a friend right now, and he was jamming out. He was dancing in the background.
Okay, hey, friend. Yeah, we're pretty close to the end, and well, let's talk about this Audius clone real quick.
This is possibly what I was literally waiting for the whole show.
Yeah, so basically the idea is that a company called AppDupe is breaking down the process to launching your own Audius clone, basically, because that's a decentralized initiative. So it's just about building the framework, which Audius is massively involved in. But once the framework is up, you can pretty much take it and duplicate it to the infinite. So that's what AppDupe does, and you can contact them so they can send you in collaboration with them, I believe. I don't know all the extent, but you give them a call and you set up a meeting, and you can have your Audius clone set up a white label Audius clone solution for you.
Okay, so maybe I misinterpreted the headline. I thought that there was a platform that was trying to replicate what Audius was doing. So maybe I missed that.
No, that's it. But it's not a platform. It's a framework that anyone can just take and replicate.
Oh, okay. That makes a little more sense. I've less beef with them now. Not to say that anybody couldn't come up and take out Audius's idea, but you know, I would imagine you can't just basically copy the idea and actually get away with it. There's a lot of
Yeah, but I believe in the sense of not only being a competitor to Audius, but maybe scale a platform to. It's basically like taking the API for the decentralized platform that Audius is and replicate it to your own scale.
Bro, my bad. I'm all over the place right now. I'm sorry.
All good. But yeah, that was it. So basically, it's something to investigate. But I'm wondering, like on my end, could I, for example, take the Audius clone and develop something that maybe scale to something smaller, maybe, or I don't know. But it was just interesting to see that the framework, once designed, can as well be an open source tool. So that was it. And
okay,
to close the show, and that's the last thing I wanted to talk about, is I came across Korean NFT music-oriented platform, which sounds brilliant in many ways. I mean, it's still in beta stage, but they seem to figure out a lot from what has emanated during the past weeks, and in their model, they seems to really combine the NFTs and the streaming ecosystem, where basically the streaming would be connected to the NFTs. So you create your NFT, your music NFT, and on the other side, there's a subscription model like in Spotify, where you buy $9.99 a month, which give you tokens to spend on the streaming, but those streamings are connected to an NFT that someone owns. So there is the NFT market and the streaming market tied to these NFTs. Do you see?
Dude, I don't see anything right now. I'm sorry.
That's okay. But yeah.
I'm here. I'm back. My bad. I got distracted. I would explain, but I don't really think it's for the podcast. But I'm 100% here.
No, it's okay. So yeah, something to look forward. Just combining NFTs and streaming into the same ecosystem, basically, where the streaming model is tied to the NFTs and the owners and anything. But we will come back to this later. It's just merging NFTs and the streaming, so that you don't, as an artist, don't have to apply on two different platforms. You just create your NFTs, and the streaming model around your art is based off that NFTs as well. So you both benefit from streaming and NFT being on the same platform in the same environment, and I believe they solved the thing pretty much how we will see it very more in the future, like having the NFT and streaming combined.
Definitely. I mean, bringing this up, I think I might be spilling the beans here, but I'm pretty confident that Audius is going to roll out NFTs this week.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that might be insider info, and I might definitely have just broken some trust, but I'm pretty confident. So you heard it here first, guys. I'm almost 1,000% sure they're rolling out NFTs like this week. So, it's interesting. I don't know. I think the thing is like, once again, we're in such a unique time period that everybody is experimenting, and all of these platforms are trying to find the right fit that's going to really work in a cultural way. What I mean by that is like how everybody is going to actually want to use it and actually going to want to become a part of that kind of culture and environment, collecting NFTs, owning an artist NFTs. So everybody can do the same thing right now. And I think everybody has an opportunity to succeed at their thing right now. But, we don't know who's going to hit the nail on the head and that thing go viral. It's like seeing crypto.com launch an NFT with Snoop Dogg. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like that to me shows that anybody could start an NFT platform tomorrow and just have a big name artist pop into it. And if they have the right sauce and they bring all the attention with one big artist, then all of a sudden that's the thing. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Platforms can live and die, and a platform could live for a whole year with the OG community, and then a new platform in a day could take every single person in the mainstream world in a millisecond because they just have the formula. So
yeah, we definitely have yet to see all these movements. When people ask me the question, is there a hype to be more or on that platform or more on the other? I do definitely see the trend moving weeks by weeks, and one week people being over one platform and the week after over another platform. And so it's, to me, it comes to the art in the end, and especially with the NFTs that are cross platforms and such. But yeah, we have yet to see the right formulas, like you said, the most powerful formulas that will overcome the market and give us the great tools we want to use. And we're here for it.
Yeah. Excited to just keep seeing things build. Believe in yourself. That's the key, right?
that's to end the loop for this week's. I mean, we came across all the news, and do you want to close with your feeling about this news
All of the news?
that we came across tonight?
Man, you want me to synopsize the whole fucking episode with a couple thoughts? Hey, listen. It's exciting. A lot of good stuff. Still waiting for that artist or that person to kind of come through with something that really sets a precedent for everybody else and kind of changes the approach. Whereas right now, people just see the money, and that's great. And I think that there's nothing wrong with that, but I just want to see some more innovation on the celebrity end and on those types of people. But seeing the technology or seeing new platforms is always good because nobody knows the actual nobody knows the formula just yet, so that's all good. But yeah, synopsize. Way to synopsize that shit. Thank you, Easy. That was tough. He put me on the spot there. But I love it. Somebody asked a question. I didn't read that. Sorry.
Yeah, what would be something that would really be innovative and shake things up for you?
Well, I think that's it's literally a great question. I think the biggest thing for me is seeing the biggest thing that's going to make NFTs work in a massive way is a platform that creates a culture around NFTs. That to me is going to be the big shift. It's not necessarily going to be somebody dropping an NFT. The big shift is going to happen from a platform that makes NFTs a cultural thing. Like if there was an Instagram where everybody wanted to showcase their NFTs, or a platform where you can use your NFT and get some clout, or like if it becomes more of a personality trait, that's where NFTs are going to fucking blow up. That's when I see a real shift of culture, because right now it's a niche world still. And I still think that like we have yet to see a major like application to these things. So it's hard to tell, but I mean, my biggest thing with innovation is just simply like, it's hard for a celebrity to innovate right now. So I guess it's unfair for me to say that. Because I do think that the biggest innovations are going to come from implementing them into a metaverse world, implementing them into like the Instagram of NFTs and all of that. And, that's going to come with a double-edged sword, because as much as that's going to create a culture, that's also going to create a massive amount of toxicity within the culture itself. So, it's a give and take, when this thing goes mainstream, if you think we had problems in the old world, bro, get ready for the worst type of culture. Get ready for the worst type of people, dude. It's going to get, I think, incredibly ugly, because not only are you going to see people get likes, but when you put a monetary value to people fucking with you, bro, when that shit goes down, man, it could be ugly. It could really be ugly, and it's
new solutions, new problems is my my take as well on this. All this disrupting new space is that definitely we have seen things, but we are about to witness the new level of mess and chaos as well in this new space, but as well as some great things. So yeah, it's not all heaven, but there's definitely things that are changing with that. So yeah. That's why we bring up the vigilance as well, like you said, the right amount of skepticism when it comes to analyzing all this, because we have yet to see the best tricks to be played on this new playground.
Right. Well, I think that the key of that is that we have yet to see the playground, the proper playground. We have crypto voxels.
That's true.
We have the Decentraland. Yeah. But once we get that playground where everybody is invited and everybody wants to be there, it's going to be huge. It's going to be game changing. So, lots to look forward to, but hey, squad up.
And
squad up. Can I get some squad
it up
ups in the chat?
Let's squad it up. And talking about squad it up, the confirmation for mass collaboration is happening this week. And we are very, very close to having a green light for having a a great contract. It's up to 20 people, I believe. And so, but that's
Shout out Digital in the house.
yeah.
Let's go, Coney. Let's go, Coney.
Square it up.
Coney, how long have you been here, bro? You've been here. You probably were you here when I was completely. Oh, okay, hell yeah. I was gonna say, were you here when I was completely like delusional about what was going on?
No, all good. So, final words: believe in yourself. That's the best, and trust yourself, your instinct. And so, whenever it comes to innocence and creating, or when it comes to skepticism, and be aware and vigilant about the trickery, the new kind of trickery. So yeah, I guess we can close this week's show on those nice words.
Absolutely. And shout out Digital. Major thanks to him again publicly since he's here. I just wanted to say, Connie, you're a fucking legend, and I appreciate you collaborating with me. Or more, probably better put, me collaborating with you. And shout out Easy again for collecting one of those drops this week. Extreme love. And just shout out to the community. Very excited for the future and what we're all building here. And yeah, man, I'm as always, I appreciate the community and TokenSmart and you, Mighty, of course, and just excited for the future.
Likewise, absolutely. Big shout out to TokenSmart, and to you. I'm very looking forward all of our advancement all together in this space, and big shout out to Connie for sure. We are again. I wanted to bring that back. This upcoming release with Boomboxhead and Vandal as well. Big shout out to DAORecords and to Boomboxhead. That will be up on Rarible on April 14th, if I pronounce this correctly. And yeah, thank you as well to shout out to Easy to be a great supporter. Like Vandal said once, he's everywhere, and that's so cool to see such support from someone passionate. And I really thought about it again this week to get into Cypher even more. So we will set this up, and yeah, very excited to see that. I want to participate into one round. I have to put that on my schedule to be there one night when Cypher is up, and so that we can fully talk about it right after all together. And let's set something up together, Mai, and let's come to a Cypher event.
Hell yeah, dude, that'd be fire. Maybe we should do like a Cypher event, maybe like at the end of a MightyMai show or something.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody just go crazy on something. That'd be embarrassing for me, but it'd be fun.
All right. So thanks everyone. This has been a hell of a week and great things looking forward in the future. Anyway, have you seen? No. Anyway, that Joe Biden's video talking anyway.
I was gonna say, what were we about to do? We're about to kick off a whole other topic.
No, I don't have anything more. No, it was just about this Joe Biden's video. Where he was trying to say something, and in the end he got messed in these thoughts and was like, so anyway, let's move on to something else.
Sounds like every time he speaks.
Yeah. I don't see him too often, but this was another level. Anyway, so let's close this show, and thank you everyone for being here and the participation. Looking forward for next week. Very excited about it. And let's end up on this Believe in Yourself NFT from this initiative that you should all check out, the Clean Water for Texas fundraiser, out by DAORecords. The collection is on OpenSea, and I will be dropping the link right now. And shout out to everyone. Have a nice week. Stay strong. Stay vigilant. Believe in yourself. Let's go.
Shout out everybody in the chat. Thank you guys.
Thank you again very much. MightyMai show episode 12. We're out. We're out. We're out. Shout out TokenSmart in the house. Yo.